This object moves in an unusual way. It travels along the same flat path where planets circle the sun. An unknown thing is passing through our solar system, and it's different from what scientists first believed. Scientists call it Atlas, and it comes from somewhere beyond our sun's reach. Early observations seemed odd, but the James Webb Space Telescope recently captured very clear pictures of it. These findings have caused major excitement in the science community. The object behaves in ways that don't follow normal rules for comets. Many people missed an important detail about its path. The route is so exact that it looks planned. This doesn't appear to be a random space traveler. Evidence now shows it might be exactly what some scientists quietly suspected: a jet aimed toward our sun. The James Webb Space Telescope cost $10 billion and was built to see dim light from the earliest galaxies. However, its latest subject wasn't far away across the universe. It was nearby in our own solar system. The information it gathered didn't just question a few ideas. It could change everything we believe about where we fit in the universe. The focus of this study is Atlas, the third object from another star system ever found traveling through our area. Scientists first thought it was a comet from a different star. But things aren't always what they look like. More and more astronomers developed a different, bold idea. A theory so important they were careful about saying it out loud. Now, Webb has given proof showing that Atlas really is what they thought all along. Something much stranger than a regular comet. The first sign that something was very wrong was its size. Early guesses were already big, but Webb's sharp images made the numbers even more incredible. Atlas measures more than 3 kilometers across, which means it weighs at least 72 trillion kilograms. This is absolutely huge. The first interstellar object, the famous Oumuamua, was about the size of a football field, roughly 100 meters long. The second one was even tinier. This new visitor weighs thousands or maybe 1 million times more. Many people didn't notice how unlikely this is. Why would the third visitor be enormous while the first two were tiny? It's similar to seeing 2 small fish in the ocean, and then spotting a blue whale as the next one. The numbers don't make sense for natural randomness. The most amazing part is that its width equals Manhattan Island, a city-sized thing floating from an unknown location. Atlas's huge size was just the start. The real surprise, shown in amazing detail by Webb's heat-sensing cameras, was its jet. Comets normally have tails. When they get near the sun, ice on their surface becomes gas, making a bright stream that always points away from the sun. The solar wind pushes it, like wind blowing smoke. This is a basic rule for how comets work. Atlas completely ignores this rule. Webb's pictures show a strangely shaped, very calm jet that's 10 times longer than it is wide, and it points toward the sun. This is like seeing smoke from a fire blow straight into the wind. It doesn't make physical sense for a natural object. Creating such a strong, focused jet against the sun's force takes enormous energy. Also, a normal comet tail only started showing faintly in late August 2025, almost like it was added later. The forward jet stays the main and unexplainable feature, a giant bright beam pointing right at our star. This wasn't just odd behavior. It clearly broke the laws of how space objects move. Scientists are trying hard to explain it, but natural explanations aren't working. Could it be some unknown chemical process or a strange type of ice? Or maybe the jet isn't a jet. Could it be a controlled release, a way to move forward? You see this in science fiction movies. but now our best telescope has captured it in reality. The object isn't just tumbling randomly through space, it's actively and strangely interacting with our Sun in a way never witnessed before. This active behavior was just the beginning. Its chemical makeup would turn out to be even more unnatural. After the shocking discoveries about its size and sun-facing jet, scientists used the James Webb Space Telescope's advanced tools to analyze Atlas's basic nature, the gas and dust surrounding it. When you study a comet, you expect to find a very specific mix dominated by water ice, carbon dioxide, and other common materials. What people don't often mention is that this space recipe is remarkably similar throughout our solar system, like a cake recipe that always uses the same basic ingredients. It's the sign of a natural body formed in cold conditions. What Webb discovered in Atlas's cloud wasn't just a different recipe. It was a recipe from a completely different set of possibilities, one that suspiciously looked like it was made on purpose. The first warning sign was the surprising amount of nickel. The instruments found far more nickel than iron in the gas the object released. In nature, iron almost always appears more than nickel. It's like discovering more gold than iron in an ordinary rock. This is a basic rule of how elements are made inside stars. Too much nickel is extremely rare, and on Earth, it's found mainly in one place: manufactured metal mixtures. High nickel steel is made for extreme strength and protection against rust and heat, making it essential for advanced space technology and manufacturing. Finding this pattern in a comet is, frankly, ridiculous. It's like testing the air near a volcano and learning it's mostly refined gasoline. But the chemical weirdness didn't end there. The second and maybe most important oddity was the nearly total lack of water. Atlas's cloud was mostly carbon dioxide. For solar system comets, water is the main component, like salt in seawater. It's the primary ingredient that makes them active. A comet without water is like an ocean without salt. This suggests Atlas formed in a part of its home star system that was strangely dry, a situation that's hard for space scientists to explain. Or it means it's not a comet at all. The mix of an industrial-type metal signature with a fundamentally unnatural material makeup creates a picture of an object that wasn't born from a spinning disk of gas and dust. It points towards something constructed, something made on purpose. As if the physical makeup wasn't weird enough, another mystery appeared in how Atlas interacts with light. When sunlight reflects off an object, it becomes polarized, like sunglasses that block reflections. By examining this polarization, scientists can learn about an object's surface texture and makeup. Most things in our solar system, asteroids, comets, planets, polarize light in an expected positive way, following a known pattern. However, Atlas showed extreme negative polarization. This is an incredibly uncommon occurrence, showing a surface made of very tiny, porous, and probably complicated materials, almost like a complex web of microscopic structures, similar to a tiny sponge. Many people missed that this isn't just a minor statistical difference. It's a basic difference in how this object works with light itself, making it different from 99.9% of known space objects. The proof suggesting it's artificial was growing, but the object's path would be the final and frightening clue. Beyond its physical features, Atlas's route through space might be the strongest and most disturbing evidence. When an object is randomly thrown from another star system, its path should be, well, random. It could arrive from any direction at any angle, like a ball thrown without aiming. But Atlas's path is anything but random. The most shocking part is that it shows a level of exactness that seems less like a space accident and more like a carefully planned route. These are oddities that will stay interesting forever because, unlike its makeup, which we can examine, its past path is a mathematical fact that can't be altered. First, there's how it lines up with the ecliptic plane. The ecliptic is the flattened disc-like plane where all planets orbit the Sun, like a giant table in space. For a random interstellar visitor, the odds of its path matching almost perfectly with this plane are incredibly tiny. Atlas's route lines up within 5 degrees of the ecliptic. The statistical chance of this happening randomly is only 0.2. It's like throwing a dart from a kilometer away, and not just hitting the building, but hitting the exact floor where everyone is. It's an incredible coincidence that immediately made astronomers question whether the object arrived randomly. Then things got even weirder. The timing of the object's arrival seems optimized to an unbelievable level. As it swings around the Sun, its path brings it unusually close to several important planets. It's doing a kind of grand tour of our inner solar system with close passes near Mars, Venus, and even the giant Jupiter. Calculating. The odds of a random interstellar object arriving at a time that allows such planetary meetings is extremely small. 0.05, like winning the lottery 3 times in a row. Many people overlooked that this isn't just a flyby. It's a series of close approaches that would be perfect for sending out smaller probes or gathering information. It's exactly the path someone would plan for a scouting mission. But the final clue is the one that's truly frightening. It links this mysterious visitor to one of astronomy's biggest mysteries, the WOW signal. On August 15, 1977, a radio telescope picked up a powerful 72-second narrow signal coming from deep space. It was so impressive that the astronomer working that night, Jerry Eman, circled it on the printout and wrote "Wow" next to it. It was the best candidate for an alien signal ever recorded, and it never happened again. Now, incredibly, the direction Atlas came from lines up within 9 degrees of where the WOW signal originated. The chance of this alignment being random is just 0.6, like finding a specific needle in a stadium-sized haystack. Could this object be the long-awaited follow-up to that mysterious message from 48 years ago? All these impossible facts raise a terrifying question. What comes next? As Atlas races toward its closest point to the Sun on October 29, 2025, the science community and the entire world waits nervously. The pile of evidence, from its impossible size and sun-facing jet to its industrial chemical signature and impossibly exact path, has shifted the discussion from "it's a strange comet" to "what is its purpose?" People watching this develop are right to look for mystery because we're in the middle of one of the most important events in human history. The thing is, we must consider every possibility, no matter how disturbing. Is this just a series of unbelievable coincidences, a 1 in a billion natural fluke? Or are we missing a crucial detail because we're scared to face the truth? One of the most talked about theories, which becomes more believable with each new piece of information, is the Trojan horse comparison. In the ancient story, an innocent-looking gift hid a serious threat. In this modern space version, an object pretending to be a natural comet could be something far more complex. It could be an interstellar probe built to study our system. The close passes by Mars, Venus, and Jupiter could be planned stops to release smaller probes, like a space bus dropping off passengers at different locations. These devices could then use the planet's gravity to change their paths toward Earth or other targets. Given its backward orbit moving opposite to the planet's, releasing probes would be a highly efficient method to survey the entire solar system. This isn't just wild guessing. It's a theory that disturbingly fits all the known facts. Blaise Pascal, the famous philosopher, argued that it's logical to consider God, because even if the chance is small, the consequences are infinite. The same reasoning applies here. Atlas being technological in origin may be unlikely, but its implications would change everything for our species. In the coming days, we might get our first real answers. Between October 1st and 7, 2025, as Atlas makes its closest approach to Mars, a group of NASA and European Space Agency spacecraft will point their instruments at the visitor. The high-quality camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter will take images with detail of just 19 meters per pixel, a view 20 times sharper than Hubble's, like the difference between seeing a blurry photo and a crystal-clear one. These pictures could show the object's true shape and surface details. Is it a uniform rock, or does it have structure? The spacecraft will also use their tools to get a fresh, close reading of its makeup. Will the unnatural patterns continue? We're about to get our best look yet at this puzzle. The idea that nature could be more creative than Hollywood writers has never been more accurate. Soon we'll know if we're looking at a rock or something looking back at us. So, for those who hold on to the idea that this is just a comet, they must explain not one, not two, but 7 separate, incredible oddities, each with an extremely small chance of happening. When does a series of coincidences stop being coincidence and start becoming a message? Is Atlas a danger, a gift, or simply a sign that we are not and never have been alone? The answer is coming. The evidence is overwhelming, and the approach is happening now. We may be about to make the greatest discovery in history or face the greatest threat we've ever encountered. But does a truly advanced civilization even need to visit to know we're here?